Welcome to TMZ Live. We just broke a story on our website. There has been an incident on the set of Outer Banks. That incident involves the co-creator and director putting his hands on a PA, a female PA, grabbing her, shaking her, screaming at her, and it got so intense, some of the stars had to intervene.
Yeah, this happened as they were shooting over in Croatia, and what we're told is that Jonas Pat, the co-creator and director, for some reason which we're still trying to figure out, got angry at this PA and was shaking her. And it went on long enough that Madeline Klein had to
Chase
step
Stokes
in.
actually started.
Chase Stokes.
He was the first
Chase
one.
Stokes was there first.
He's the first one that actually separated
Right.
them. Then Madeline came in.
Right.
She kind of did the same. But it was intense.
And
By the
it
way,
has created as you'd imagine, a lot of upset and anger on set between all the cast and what's going on and why Jonas did this.
we have talked to a number of people now who are directly or indirectly involved in the shooting right now, which is in Croatia, in Dubrovnik. And they just started shooting this week. So it got off to a very rough start. We're told the tensions are high in the set. But there are a lot of people who are really angry about this. People who are representatives of some of the stars, people who are on the set right now, crew members. They are angry that this happened. And remember, this guy is the brainchild of the show.
Right.
And nonetheless, they say not only is this not the first incident, but they're glad it became public.
Right, well, and it's a super big deal because, as you said, they just started production on the 5th season. He wasn't reprimanding somebody on the set. He, from what we are told, took a PA, screamed in her face while he was shaking her, and it was so egregious that the stars of the show had to get in between them and say, "What the hell are you thinking? Get away from her." It really was a big deal.
So was this PA involved in that? Were they in the middle of shooting a scene at the moment, or
We don't
Well,
know.
I guess it's kind of
Yeah, it's
unclear, but
unclear.
like we've seen videos from the shoot this week, and there are so many people around. Like you see the cast and the crew kind of all in this like, I don't know, quad area. So a lot of people were around to have witnessed
Which
this.
is really weird. I mean, just out in the open.
Exactly. I mean, I think I've studied film. I've been on sets before. I've never been talked to or had a reaction from a director like that. So I can't even imagine what made him do this.
So they are in the 5th season right now. So this is the last season.
This is the final season too, and I think a lot of fans were sad to see it come to an end, but I'm sure people that are on set now are probably like, how are we going to even get through this final season? Like you guys mentioned, they just started filming this week, and they've still got some time to go. They still got a ways.
And we don't know what they're going to do. I mean, look, we've called Pat's reps, we've called Pat, we've called Netflix. Nobody's gotten back to us on those sides.
Right.
So we don't know how this is going to affect filming.
It also makes you wonder, because we spoke to that one person who had pointed out that it's time for this behavior to come to light. So it makes you wonder if they have other
what's been going
documented
on.
incidents
Five
with him
seasons.
from the show.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it says a lot, too, about the show's leads, that they saw this PA being yelled at. Other leads may have just been like, oh, whatever, low on the totem
sure.
pole. And the stars got involved and said, stop,
well, I
whatever
think
you're
that
doing.
speaks to how
Intense.
violent it was, or
Correct.
intense,
Correct.
that they would do
Their
that. 'Cause you're right,
co-creator and
normally-
director, that takes some serious...
So we will see. But right now, as far as we know, they're still filming. But it's very, I don't know, just based on all the reactions that we got today, because we made a ton of calls, it seemed like they all knew about this,
Yeah.
that the word had spread. So I think this is being taken as a serious matter. And now the question is, what do they do?
We're definitely
Right.
going to find out
I
more.
mean, do they remove him as a director?
Which, how do you do that? The co-creator, the director,
Well, he doesn't
get
direct
involved
all
in
the
everything.
episodes, right?
Multiple directors do the
So
episodes,
the director
but
they
like,
could probably do, but he's co-creator. You're not going
Yeah.
to get rid of him.
So, but they're also not going to, they're not going to shelf the
It's a huge show.
season.
no,
Yeah.
it's huge.
No.
But yeah, it's a huge show.
It just may delay, getting the filming done for the season.
I'm Lubin and Kendall from St. Louis. I'm really like upset that this happened because like I said, I'm a huge fan. But at the end of the day, no director should be yelling at production or cast, especially being a female. So it's very distasteful, and I hope that they can get things together for the rest of the season.
We will see.
They're going to have to. It's too big of a show for Netflix. Will make sure that they get it together. Well, the feds are making an admission to a really horrific incident that happened in El Paso during an immigration raid. And you may have heard about this, but now they are coming clean about their part in killing a family's dog. This was a sweep that went down in September, and acting on what the family says they were told was a tip that that the feds had gotten about the previous owner of their home perhaps being involved in smuggling of immigrants. So the agents show up at this house, they go into the house and end up shooting the family's dog, shooting and killing Chop, the family's Rottweiler.
And by the way, a bogus tip.
Yes, that turned out to be a bogus tip. So this is what Seth Dow says happened that day in September when they entered his house. He said, Border Patrol agents came to my home in El Paso claiming they were investigating alien smuggling. Before allowing them inside, I secured Chop in the bathroom to ensure everyone's safety. Despite that, one agent entered the house, opened the bathroom door, and shot Chop. I rushed back inside to find him bleeding on the floor, and he died in my arms after nearly an hour of suffering.
Oh, God.
And there are photos from this scene that we really can't show you. It's horrific what happened in this house and what this family had to go through. Now, they had spoken about what happened there, but the DHS is now saying, look, our agents entered with the homeowner's consent and while inside. The way, it's interesting how the feds describe it. The dog aggressively charged the agent. Fearing for his safety, the officer discharged their firearm.
Are they disputing the dog was in the bathroom?
They are not addressing the bathroom part of it. And that is the whole thing to me.
That's why they put the dog in the bathroom.
Right.
And
the homeowner was cooperating and letting them in,
If
but
there's, by the
also
way, if there's
trying to protect
I just want to
them.
say, if they have a search warrant, then they can go in every room. But if a homeowner lets them in and sets boundaries, screw
Then you
them
have
for
to-
not respecting the
Well,
boundaries.
and told them that here's the dog, and they put it in the bathroom.
dog's in the bathroom.
Like put the dog in the bathroom because obviously it's a Rottweiler, so you can see how maybe
Right,
some
it's gonna
person
be
would
protected,
see it
right.
and be.
Of course.
But so he's now suing the federal government,
Good.
obviously. But I mean, this is a total he said, she said. Like I
Well,
don't understand.
I don't think it's he said, she said.
Because-
there may be body cam.
Yeah,
oh, there should be body cam.
No, there should be
actually,
body
which
cam.
should
And
show.
you'll see if the door is
These
shut.
were Border Patrol agents, so maybe
But
they do.
for instance, so
You know, ICE
so
agents
so
don't.
say what he says is true, and they put the dog in the bathroom, and then another agent comes and opens the door. If the dog then does attack that officer, is he
But,
justified?
that's,
They
why I'm saying,
told him-
that's why I'm saying, if you invite them in and they don't have a search warrant and they don't have a right to search the house, but you set boundaries for them to come in and say, the dog's in the bathroom, don't open the bathroom
Right.
door, and they do.
Right.
I'm
if the
sorry,
dog's in the
it's
bathroom
on-
and maybe the
it's
dog's
on
probably
them.
barking. But here's the problem. So now they're suing the government. But
We're
what
planning
are
on suing. They haven't filed a lawsuit
They haven't
yet.
filed it
yeah.
yet. But what are they
the
ultimately
damages?
going to get?
I mean, the problem.
the value, right?
The problem is dogs are considered property.
Right.
They're not considered living beings, and you get the value of the dog. You don't get pain and suffering because dogs are property.
It's basically like it's a couch.
It's like a couch. It's like a couch. It's awful.
They had this dog for 7 years.
It's
I mean,
just
it's like their
awful.
family
I
dog.
know. It's just awful.
Hi, Harvey. This is Shari from Washington, D.C., and this is such a devastating story because the homeowner did everything he could to ensure the safety of not only the dog, but the agents. He literally locked the dog up, told them about the dog. So I don't understand why they just opened this door, didn't communicate to one another that the animal was in there, and then had to shoot him. We understand the dangerous nature of the agent's job, but there has to be some better protocol training for people that are not involved. This homeowner most certainly deserves an apology and some type of severance for the loss of his dog's life.
Again, to also stress, this was a bum tip. There was
was
this
a bum
family.
tip.
They didn't make any arrests.
No
there were no undocumented immigrants there.
And the guy let him in. It's appalling.
Coming up.
So it seems like Bad Bunny has had a conversation, very interesting conversation, with the head of the NFL. This is what the commissioner had to say about Bad Bunny. He's clearly addressing some of the backlash that has happened, people who feel like he's the wrong choice because of English, political statements he's made against the Trump administration.
Be right back.
So it seems like Bad Bunny has had a conversation, very interesting conversation, with the head of the NFL, Commissioner Roger Goodell. Mr. Goodell had a news conference today talking about plans for the Super Bowl coming up in February in Santa Clara, California. And obviously, the halftime show was something that a lot of people wanted to ask questions about. This is what the commissioner had to say about Bad Bunny. He's clearly addressing some of the backlash that has happened, people who feel like he's the wrong choice because of English, political statements he's made against the Trump administration. Here's what the commissioner had to say about it.
He's one of the leading and most popular entertainers in the world. That's what we try to achieve. It's an important stage for us. It's an important element to the entertainment value. It's carefully thought through. I would say that I'm not sure we've ever selected an artist where we didn't have some blowback or criticism. It's pretty hard to do when you have literally hundreds of millions of people that are watching. But we're confident it's going to be a great show, and that he understands the platform that he's on, and I think it's going to be exciting and a united moment.
I think this is really interesting.
He understands the platform.
He understands the platform he's on. See, I'm not sure whether he's not going to sing differently than he sings in concert.
No, I don't think it's about his singing or his actual performance.
Political
I think
views.
There's a concern, perhaps, about
that
political
was a translation
views.
to me. Like, translation, he understands this is an apolitical event.
But he doesn't do that. He really.
Bad Bunny does it.
Bad Bunny doesn't
right.
really do
but
that.
Bunny make an exception for.
He doesn't do it
the biggest event in the world.
And I think.
And honestly, there's no time for it.
So look, there are two ways of looking at that. Either Goodell is saying that I've had a talk with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny won't do it because we've had that talk. Or he's saying, relax, Trump administration. He's not going to do that.
Right.
And I think
don't
it's
start
that.
talking
the
about
latter.
it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I
That
think
wasn't my initial interpretation, but I could see that.
And look, Goodell has to be behind this. I mean, if he waffles at all,
well,
Trump will eat him up.
Yeah, listen to this too. It wasn't in our bite, but he was also asked if he was thinking or considering a replacement, and he said, "No, we're not." So it's going to be Bad Bunny. There's no change.
I don't know. Go through
that's
with it.
whoever thought that was perhaps going to change.
You want to talk about the blowback now? Imagine the blowback if they pulled Bad Bunny.
Oh my God!
You can't.
It would be
show
massive
that at all.
It would be massive.
Yeah.
When the
But
commissioner sits down with him, does he say Bunny or does he say Benito?
I don't know. Mr. Bunny?
Johnny Benitez, Brooklyn, New York. I mean, I do agree, Bad Bunny is one of the leading artists internationally. But at the end of the day, I definitely just think this is like a business decision. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar business, and they're just trying to expand their demographic. Like, there's a UFC fight about to take place in Abu Dhabi. Like, any country any additional country would be like of a great resource. And maybe this performance by Bad Bunny could be a tool. Obviously, there's like some kind of political tension, but I don't think that's like the main priority right now. If like they're trying to kill two birds with one stone, the first bird is definitely like money, expand the market. And maybe the political tension could be like the second bird, but definitely it's just business focused. And, we have like Republican and Democrat, a shift in power constantly. So I'm sure they're aware that we're not going to have a Republican president forever. And they're trying to think futuristically and just expand the market the way they see fit.
It's all about global expansion. I mean, that's why he made the point of saying he's one of the biggest artists in the world globally, because that's the way they're thinking.
Spot on.
You know, you got to hand it to the folks over at the Call Her Daddy podcast, because when they get a guest on, there's usually someone who, like, says something really outrageous and out there.
Yep.
I don't know if Victoria Beckham was their best booking.
She did not open up.
I will say, look, there's a bunch of things that Victoria Beckham could talk about.
She could talk about the family drama.
Exactly.
Nope.
Now, she did talk about something that's serious and important, I think, for young people to a good message here. Just not what you were expecting. Here's what she had to say about going through her time when she had an eating disorder and how it was something that she felt so much shame about she didn't even share it with the people closest to her.
People talk about me so much and my weight, and as you said, 1 minute I was porky posh and then I was skinny posh, and it plays tricks with you, and I didn't know what I saw when I looked in the mirror.
You said when you have an eating disorder, you become very good at lying.
Yes.
Did you confide in anyone at this point in your life?
No. No one at all.
When did you feel ready to open up to David?
David has always known that I've been very disciplined about the way that I eat. And I managed to turn myself, because I was too scared to talk to anyone, you know. I didn't feel that I could trust anyone at all. David helped me do that. You know, David was the one that changed my workout around. You know, I was doing cardio. All I wanted to do was burn. He was the one that encouraged me to start weight training, and we work out together.
That's interesting, but it's something we've heard many times.
Yes.
Looking
for a revelation.
The story that is kind of out there right now in pop culture is all this drama going on with her family, and
it's interesting. I mean, it makes me think that was
a deal.
That was part of the deal. That we're not going to bring that up.
At one point, Alice Cooper, the girl that was interviewing Victoria, she did lightly try to ask about it, where she was like, "Oh, what do you do as a parent when your kids, who are, most of them are adults now, want to make adult decisions? What do you do in that kind of situation?" You know, in a way, kind of lightly teasing it up for Victoria to speak on.
I would do it differently. I would say...
How would you have worded it?
I would have worded it, at what point do you stop being a parent and allowing kids to make the decision? Because what a lot of people say started this was she interrupted the first dance of her son, booted Nicola away,
right,
and then danced with her son.
That was definitely one of
So
many things.
that would have opened the door to, when do you stop being that parent telling your kids what to do and let them do?
Well, Victoria did not take the bait at all, because she was like, "Oh, we love communication in this family." And it just didn't really go any farther than that.
Coming up.
What started as a $1 billion standoff between the First Lady, Melania Trump, and author and journalist Michael Wolff has now turned into a defamation lawsuit that he filed against her on the day that she issued a deadline.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexha was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say, look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. What started as a $1 billion standoff between the First Lady, Melania Trump, and author and journalist Michael Wolff has now turned into a defamation lawsuit that he filed against her on the day that she issued a deadline. So if you recall this, Michael Wolff was doing an interview or had spoken to Daily Beast and said some things about Melania allegedly having connections to Jeffrey Epstein. She took exception to that Daily Beast article and fired off a threatening letter to him saying, if you do not retract your statements by October 21st, there will be a lawsuit where you will be faced with paying me damages up to $1 billion. Yesterday was the deadline, and his response was not a retraction, but a defamation lawsuit against her.
So where is the defamation that he suffered at her hands if all she said was, I'll sue you if you don't retract.
This is what's interesting. It is it's a declaratory judgment. Complaint. That's what he's seeking. He's seeking the judge to say, what I said in the Daily Beast interview is not defamatory. He wants the judge to declare that this is not defamation.
This in the law is called, I don't want to get too technical, it's called declaratory relief. That means that you're not filing a formal lawsuit. You want to find out where you stand so you can move forward if there's a dispute. So you ask the judge for what we call declaratory relief.
Is it sort of preemptive?
It is preemptive because
stop her.
It's saying, tell her that this is not defamation, what I did.
Exactly, and tell her to back off, because in this lawsuit that he filed, it says...
It's not a lawsuit.
It's legal papers for declaratory relief.
Right.
And what he is saying is, back off with your harassment and intimidation. I'm a journalist, and I have a First Amendment right to speak these things. Some of the things he said, you can see why she would be very upset and threatened to sue for $1 billion. One of the allegations that he said to the Daily Beast was that Donald Trump, first met Melania on the Lolita Express. And that's where they first sort of slept together. And so that allegation is extremely damaging. It opens up this whole can of worms about Donald Trump's connection to Jeffrey Epstein.
But I don't think Michael Wolff is going to win this, and I'll tell you why. Because that all becomes a question of fact for a jury. And when a judge is looking at this, they don't basically retry a whole case for declaratory relief. That's going to be left to a jury. So I think what he would say is, look, whether it's defamation or not, I can't tell you because it's all going to be fact-based.
Yes, but part of this is anti-SLAPP. I don't want to get into sort of the technicals of that, but he could solve some of it before that.
But then you file an anti-SLAPP motion, you don't file declaratory relief.
It's
And I'm here.
It's fine. Thank you.
No, I said it's a bonus.
Thank you.
And I'm here at law school. Cool.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Marie here from Ireland, and I think the whole thing is just messy. If he won't take it back, maybe he means that he stands by what he said, or maybe he believes that there is some truth in it. The whole thing is really complicated now, and someone is going to have to pay out millions, or maybe even $1 billion, who knows, depending on what way it goes.
Well, the other way of looking at it is when Mike Johnson gets around to swearing in this congresswoman who is the 218th vote, we're going to see what the Justice Department file looks like.
When and if.
We will see. He can't delay this forever.
Coming up.
The mystery of Ellen Greenberg is completely unsolved. There have been 2 Emmys reports now that say that this is a suicide.
The people who have suffered the most here are Ellen Greenberg's parents.
Yes, and Sandy and Josh Greenberg are joining us right now. Welcome to TMZ Live to you both.
Be right back.
Well, after 2 different reports from the Emmys office, the mystery of Ellen Greenberg is completely unsolved. As far as I'm concerned, I know as far as you're concerned.
As far as I'm concerned.
And millions of people who have followed this story of Ellen Greenberg since 2011, when she was found dead and was very clearly stabbed dozens of times.
More than 20 times.
But most of those wounds were to the back of her head, to her neck, and we had a forensic expert on talking about the unlikelihood of anyone being able for those wounds to be self-inflicted. And yet, there have been 2 Emmys reports now that say that this is a suicide.
Which defies reason for many people, frankly, myself included. And now the question, why? Why have they done somersaults to call this a suicide? Especially when they didn't initially. It was changed to a suicide. So the people who have suffered the most here are Ellen Greenberg's parents.
Yes, and Sandy and Josh Greenberg are joining us right now. Welcome to TMZ Live to you both. And obviously, we just want to begin to say we're so sorry for what you're going through. The loss of a child, bad enough, but to have this on top of it is just too much. How do you try to make sense of what the Emmys office has said now?
There's so much corruption involved in the past 14 years that when we got this second ruling from the medical examiner's office, it's not anything different than we've been faced with for 14 and a half years. And who are they trying to protect? The one miscalculation that Philadelphia authorities have misjudged is that we're not giving up. And even after Josh and I are gone, there are people in place that will take over. So they're gonna, they dotted their I's and crossed their T's, and they're gonna have children of theirs that read about this case and know their parents were involved in it, and it's a stain on all of them.
So
I have a different look at this. Number one, when we started this case, we started with a very eminent physical, somebody who was an autopsy guy. What's his name?
Cyril Wecht.
Cyril Wecht, who's passed away. Dr. Wecht's first thing was women don't stab themselves. So right away, if we go with what he said and his ability to be trusted, this whole thing is bogus. There's nothing to it. The security, what we say is nothing to it, and what the city says is nothing to it. Then we go into these two medical examiners, one of which covered up an assistant medical examiner who said that both the wounds were post-mortem, the one in the back of the neck and the chest. And if you look at the wounds in the rendering here, which is a computer thing, there's not a lethal wound there. I mean, you can barely see the tips. You can still see the tips of the knives. So the whole thing with the knives and the 20 stab wounds is bogus. The things to look at is the neck wounds. She had strap wounds. She had hand wounds, like somebody had restrained her, and she had a big gash on the top of her head. The suicide with these knives is bogus. Also, another medical examiner brought up the fact that suicide victims don't stab themselves in the back. So the whole picture, even which we got, is bogus. The city of Philadelphia is bogus. They just don't know what they're doing. And if I was a member right now of the criminal investigation system in Philadelphia, I'd be really pissed off, because I think this new medical examiner just created more controversy. She didn't clear the picture. She muddied the waters, that we're just going to keep going because we think she didn't do a good job, and there's no facts that she talks about that make any sense.
Josh, the only thing I would disagree with you on is when you just said she doesn't know what she's doing. Seems to me she knows exactly what she's doing. And my question, and what has baffled me for a long, long time, is why. It's so obvious. Why would they cover this up? Why would they do somersaults to call something which any reasonable person would say is not a suicide? But why would they draw that conclusion? What do you think is behind this?
Corruption.
Why? But what?
Politics.
What kind of corruption?
They're trying to protect certain people. Certain individuals are being protected by sticking to the party line. I think you want to also mention that we have 5 eminently renowned forensic doctors. Dr. Wayne Ross, Dr. Cyril Wecht, Dr. Michelle Dupree, Dr. Joseph Scott Morgan, Dr. Henry Lee, all feel this is a suicide. There's no gray area here.
Feel it's not a suicide. Feel it's not a suicide.
They tried to cover up that they did this on a night when it was a snowy nor'easter, and they didn't do a good job. And that's what they're trying to cover up. Their faultiness in their ability to do a thorough and honest investigation.
I'm just curious about something. Look, I know that there are certain things you can't say, and I've read and studied your case, and I know that there are things that kind of loom about who might have had access to the place she was killed and all. What about a civil lawsuit? Have you thought about a wrongful death lawsuit where
the problem there is, as long as it's called a suicide, you don't have a murder, you don't have a victim.
But the jury is not bound by the medical examiner's conclusion.
Attorneys have told us it's a very high wall to climb.
Yeah, it is. But it's also, I'm sorry, I don't want to, impose my view of it. It is a high wall to climb, but this one just makes no sense. And if
it seems like it would be your only,
a jury might look right through it.
The word might is the problem in there.
Yeah.
I agree. We don't disagree with you necessarily. We just told you when we discussed it with our those that know more about this than we do, this is what they came up with. And we've been fighting it we've been trying to fight it the right way. And we have gotten farther than anybody else in a case like this fighting it the right way. And it'd be a shame to do something now that's not in the right way. We have never pointed a finger at anybody or anything. All we have asked for is an unbiased investigation led by a leader who's unbiased. That's all.
You're not getting that in Philly.
Well, that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's, as you say, it's just common sense. It's logical. And, you mentioned Dr. Joseph Scott Morgan. We had him on talking about this. He is as baffled as anyone because that they could possibly look at this evidence and rule it a suicide. It just
one of the medical examiner's own investigators, what's her name?
Lindsay Emery,
said the wounds were post-mortem. And he didn't. And the chief medical examiner told her not to write a report. And we didn't find out about this whole thing being post-mortem for 2 years. So that shows you what a cesspool we're dealing in. And we're just, so far, we haven't been willing to take the risks to do what you say. We don't disagree. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Sometimes I think even if we were to go to court and a judge would tell the medical examiner to change the conclusion, you're still going to end up with the first thing that the medical examiner is going to have to say in court is, why did you change your conclusion? And you say a judge made me do it, which makes it still looks bogus.
I hope I'm not stepping out of my role here and becoming an advocate. But one of the things you could do in a civil lawsuit is call the medical examiner to the stand and, pardon the expression, grill her like a cheeseburger to find out why they did what they did. And that might give you some answers as to what's behind all this.
Possibly. The big thing with our lawyers has been that it's called a suicide.
We get it. Listen, again, we're so sorry, and we really appreciate your time.
No, anything else, we're here to answer questions.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Coming up.
So, new season of Love is Blind. Got a lot of people talking. I know you're a big fan.
I'm a huge fan.
But a lot of people talking about same thing that we heard this during Love Island. We hear it whenever a new season of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette comes up. Where do they get these people? Because
they're borderline crazy.
Be right back.
So, new season of Love is Blind. Got a lot of people talking. I know you're a big fan.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, you liar. I've been telling you to watch it, though. I haven't seen the new season, but a lot of people talking about same thing that we hear. Like we heard this during Love Island. We hear it whenever a new season of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette comes up. Where do they get these people? Because sometimes they seem to be just on the edge of...
We call it borderline.
I know we're not supposed to use the word crazy, but...
They're borderline crazy.
Sometimes it applies. So where do they find them? Well, joining us now is someone whose whole job is to find these people. Yes, I said these people. Kristen Moss is a veteran casting director in Hollywood, worked on some of the Bachelor shows, Traitors, $1 Million Secret, Biggest Loser, on and on and on. Kristen.
Yeah, I post a lot of the casting calls. I haven't worked on all of those shows, but I put out the casting calls for all my friends and everything. I'm a big advocate for the industry, and I am a casting director.
Okay, so when you do that, when you put these calls out, what personality, let's talk about these finding love shows, because that's what's big right now. So what are you looking for? Are you looking for people who genuinely want to find love, or does that really not matter? You're looking for people who are simply, big, bold, big personalities, a little bit crazy and whatnot.
We definitely want the big personalities. That goes without saying. Someone who knows themselves and is willing to talk about who they are, put themselves out there, not be afraid to kind of show who they are on television. When it comes to a love show, especially a marriage show, we want people who want to be married. We don't want to make, the main character look dumb for ending up wanting to marry somebody, and then this guy's like, oh, I just wanted some Instagram followers. Like, we are genuinely looking for people who want to find love. If it's a love show, if it's a marriage show, Married at First Sight, all of those. Even The Bachelor, Bachelorette, I mean, they want people who want to be married. That's the end goal, is to get engaged.
But Kristen, isn't also part of, and maybe I'm wrong, I believe you that you're looking for people who want to find true love. But isn't it better if they want to find true love and they're a little unstable, maybe because of past relationship issues?
We want to make sure that there's going to be a storyline to follow. So someone who has zero, relationship experience, or someone who is not, at all aware of who they are or what they want, I mean, they're not going to be fun to follow anyway. You want to make sure that the person kind of knows what they want, and when they see it, they go after it. If they know for sure that's not what they're looking for, that they're going to be very clear, put their guard up and say, moving on.
Is OnlyFans sort of a big fishing pool for casting directors?
We do. So there are checks and balances. And when it comes to a cast, if you're living in a house, you're going to have to go through a background check, a psych test. If you're, people are going to be exploring each other sexually, there's going to be STD checks. You can imagine knocks quite a few people out of the running. So there are things that the network is willing to accept that the network is not willing to accept. A lot of this stuff, probably with the train wreck year you're talking about, are the people who have said racist things or homophobic things or have been like completely.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of stuff. We do our best, and it's usually the casting side. It's the casting side sometimes, but then it's the production, and then it's the network. I mean, everybody's kind of involved with doing their background and their due diligence.
And yet, every season on these shows,
Big Brother,
somebody, especially on Big Brother, it seems like there's always one person who gets in, and then someone on the internet is like.
I always thought that it was you guys knew. I'm just saying you, but that it just happens so much that they kind of know there's going to be this bombshell in the middle of the show, and everybody pays attention.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, in my experience, we do our best to make sure that we are going through their socials. We're taking a look. I mean, a lot of times it's 15, 20 people out of hundreds or thousands that have been moved into the next round or pitched to the network. So we're trying to make the best decision possible, and the network's trying to make the best decision possible, that we're not putting somebody on there that's going to make the network look bad, make the advertisers look bad. Not everybody's perfect. People make bonehead comments online all the time, and it can come back to bite you if you're doing that kind of stuff.
We're out of time, but I got to ask you this real quickly. When you're casting, who tends to be crazier, men or women?
Oh, man.
I'm just curious.
But yes, as long as you brought it up.
I'm curious.
It's so hard to say. It's so hard to say.
Come on.
I mean, listen, women, we're more cerebral. We know what we're going after. We know how we want to play the game, how we want to win the game. And they should be winning more games, in my opinion, because women can play that game in our minds. So it does make us come out to be a little more crazy, but.
Enough said.
At the end of the day, if you want to win, you better go out there and you better try your damnedest.
We got what we needed. Thank you so much, Kristen. No, I'm kidding. Thank you.
Thank you,
That is
Kristen.
really interesting because everyone wonders this when they watch their favorite show. We appreciate it.
Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. And the Reality Awards, which I started, the vote starts tomorrow, public vote. So.
Okay. You got it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Coming up.
Jelly Roll's in the land down under, and he is looking slim.
Way less jelly.
Like, we've been watching him over the last few years on this weight loss journey, but he actually is getting close to the unrecognizable.
Be right back.
Jelly Roll's in the land down under, and he is looking slim.
Way less jelly.
Like, we've been watching him over the last few years.
Look at him.
On this weight loss journey, as they say. But he actually is getting close to the unrecognizable, if not for all the tattoos.
He looks, you could almost call him thin.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. And by the way, all natural.
Right.
No shame
You're not shaming someone if they do use
Ozempic or
drugs.
anything like that.
Right.
No shame. But he wanted to do it the old-fashioned way, and he did. It took him a long time.
That's
transformative.
An incredible level of commitment.
That's crazy.
Yeah. How much did he drop?
200 pounds.
Yeah, he went from 540 pounds. Now he's about 357 pounds.
Wait a minute, he's still 257?
357.
He's 357.
357. Went from 540 to 357.
I mean, he's a very tall guy.
Which, for reference, I dressed like him today because I figured I'd do this segment. That's about around my weight. So he's maybe not skinny.
How tall is he?
He's quite a bit taller.
He's very tall. Yeah,
he's very tall.
He's very tall.
And it's probably a baggy outfit. But anyway,
But still.
Regardless, that's to lose that much.
I mean, good on him. Honestly, that's shocking. Does he change his name?
No, he's still
gluten-free roll.
Well, like Stevie Wonder changed it from Little Stevie Wonder when, he became an adult.
Just save him, please.
Hey y'all, it's Portia reporting live from Connecticut, USA. I just want to say congrats to Jelly Roll for losing 200 pounds. Like, that's amazing. Shouts out to anyone that's on a health and wellness journey in 2025.
Oh God, stop. I just realized something. You have Christmas lights already?
This is a year-round thing,
Oh,
Harvey.
okay.
I heard you like to talk about people's faces.
Hold on a second.
No, I just want to make sure they weren't
But
Christmas
they
lights.
are Christmas lights. She just chooses to leave them up year-round.
Well, this is like my studio, like my chill space. So these lights are up for the vibes. These are the vibes.
Okay.
They're vibe lights.
Well, I'm not going to call them Christmas lights. What else you guys want to talk about?
Hey, TMZ, it's Zakia from Phoenix, Arizona. Thanks so much for having me. I wanted to talk about the Victoria Beckham, her coming out about her eating disorder. Victoria Beckham has been criticized by the media most of her career, and I think that it's very brave that she wanted to come out and speak about this now. And there's still a generation of us girls that support and love her, so I'm very proud of her.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Wow, you came
rocking the
locked
merch.
and loaded there.
Still rocking the merch.
One more.
Ellen Aquaria from Seattle, Washington, a real housewife. And I just have to say, justice has to be served for Ellen Greenberg. I'm sorry, that's my dog getting excited for me being on TMZ. But yeah, they just re-ruled that it is a suicide. 100% not a suicide. It should be homicide. Nobody stabs themselves in the back of the head to go out just because they have anxiety. And I, as a person that has anxiety, and my name is also Ellen, cannot settle for that. We need justice for this girl.
Yeah, I mean, and I got to tell you, I hope they talk to another lawyer on the civil side, because just because the Emmy says it's a suicide, if it doesn't make sense, the jury will see through it, and you can call the Emmy to the stand and grill her and maybe get to the bottom of why this feels so corrupt.
Coming up.
One student who's getting ready for his senior moment in his yearbook, and he asked Drake to write him a quote. And Drake did even better, gave him a whole verse.
Be right back.
You remember what you put in your yearbook as your senior quote?
Have a bitch in summer.
That sounds about right. It's probably what he said. Well, there was one student who's getting ready for his senior moment in his yearbook, and he asked Drake to write him a quote. And Drake did even better, gave him a whole verse. I wonder if he's got to use this, right? So, do you want to do the
Well,
you want to do the honors? You can't read it.
I can't read it, so you got to do it.
So, Drake's response was, did there, been that, thanks for all the knowledge. Seth moved like liquid, baby, but Seth kept it solid. 5 deep in the whip, plotting on them dollars. Me, I'm sitting backseat, stone in the middle like an olive.
Oh, my God.
Praying all the broskies can dodge life's problems. Problem is more kids trying to go viral than go to college.
Tawanda, rate that.
First of all, if you go to your high school and you say, I've got my senior quote from Drake, and it's bars like that, Olives, college, 10 out of 10, hands down.
Fire.
Better than a bitch in summer.
Delivery?
Low key,
I was
Charles.
flowing, right?
You snapped. You did.
I'll see you tomorrow.